What's up guys, this is Adrian with 911 Gadgets. In this video I'm going to show you how to change the screen on a Galaxy S10 Plus. As you can see here, there's lines in the bottom of this one. So although it still touches and everything, it just doesn't look good at the bottom anymore. So what this one's doing, first of all, it definitely has some damage to the bottom of it. You see right here, there's the lines down there, and not only that, you can clearly tell that it's that there's a spot right there. So even though this one doesn't have cracks on the glass, the inside of it is damaged. So we cannot recycle this screen anymore, and the reason the customer brought it in was mainly because the fact that it's damaged from the inside. Sometimes she presses the lock button and it stays off. The screen stays off, but her phone rings. The screen stays off, but it vibrates and everything. So that's part of this damage. If you guys can see there's these lines right there at the bottom. That's not normal. You see how there's just you can only see those lines now, so it's already doing that flashing effect that most of these bad LCDs start doing eventually. So with all that being said, let's jump into replacing the screen on it. Now I ordered this screen, and because it's fairly new, I couldn't really find one without the frame. So I ordered the one with the frame. So we're just gonna simply open this up and transfer all the pieces that go from here to there. Okay, so let's set this to the side for now, and let's start up by getting our tools ready. So we need our heat gun. We also need our thin blade and our thin pick. Okay, so I'm gonna hit it with this first, and then I'm gonna go with this. And look how flimsy this is. Okay, you don't want to use anything too thick because you run the risk of cracking the back. Okay, so I always like to start from the bottom, so I just flip the phone over, so I pick it from the top. Now this one has plastic on it. If it starts melting, then I'll just remove it, but for now I'm just gonna leave it on there. You want to make sure that the last few seconds, last 5 seconds, maybe 10, you focus the heat gun on this part, because that's where you're going to go in. Okay, so you just stick your blade in there like that. You don't want to stick it in too deep. You don't want to wedge it so much at all, if possible. And then you stick in your flimsy plastic pick. That way you don't so this one turned on by itself, or did I not shut it off? Probably didn't shut it off. But yeah, so that way you don't break this back part. Just go around like this. You might turn it on by accident, but it's alright. Just turn it back off. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so once you've got some of it separated, you leave your pick in there so it doesn't close back up, and you go and hit it again with the heat gun. You don't want to get too close to where your pick is at because you'll melt it with the heat gun. So here we go. So you can use your, I usually use my chest, so I'm like pressing it against my chest a little bit sometimes to get some more grip. Okay, there's this. Go at it again. And this time I'm going to stick a thicker tool just so it could stay, so it can help me. Okay, there's that. There you go. As you can see there, I'm slowly lifting it. Then I'm going to start picking it again from here. See that? You don't want to force it, guys, because then it'll crack. Okay? So now that I got that tool in there, I'm going to go ahead and heat it up a little bit more. And a lot of times as you're heating it, you could be separating it like this. But let's see. Okay, there's that. I'm going to go on this side. Okay, so this is a good example of trying to spread it open and then heating it at the same time. So I'm putting pressure outward with my thumb and fingers, and I'm going to start heating it up right here. Remember to never leave it on one spot for too long. And there you go, guys. So here it is. There's a little piece of something right in there that I separated with my spudger tool. Okay. Go around it this way now. There you go, cutting all that adhesive. Okay, so slowly, slowly. Slowly. And there it is. So this piece of adhesive can either stay on the back glass, or you can leave it on the back frame there. This one will stay right here in the back glass. Okay. So there you have it. There's the back glass removal without breaking it. So you gotta be very careful, okay? So let's set this aside until we need it again. Now we're going to start removing all these screws so that we can start transferring the parts from here to here. And these are just Phillips screws. Alright, now that all the screws are removed, now you can start removing these little plastic right here. This is part of this is your wireless charging pad right there. So you move that out of the way. Usually I put it in the same way I removed it. So it goes like this, I'll put it this way. Okay, the first thing you want to do is unplug the battery, which is right here. And there you go. Then you can start unplugging your LCD connector. There it is, right there. You want to remove that SIM tray. There you go. Take that SIM tray out. Start removing the screws for the charging port. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you transfer every single thing from this frame onto this one. So for instance, this vibrating motor right here, you see that? It's missing on this side. So that's one thing, but you want to look at everything once we have the motherboard out and stuff. So this is going to be the front cameras. Okay, got that out. And then the speaker, you want to make sure you heat it up very good so it doesn't break in half when you're trying to separate it, when trying to remove it from there. Okay, make sure everything else is unplugged. No more screws. There's probably a screw right here, this one right here, this motherboard screw. And those I usually separate along with the charging port screws over here on this side, so I don't get it mixed up with these screws on top. Okay, so we got that. I don't think there's any more screws. So let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna heat this up a little bit. The auxiliary port. Seems like it's kind of stuck. And I always use my hand just to kind of make sure my gun is hot enough. Okay, see if that comes out now. No. Let's see if the charging port will come out first. Okay, let's try from the top first. There we go, we'll do the top part. And there it is. So always remove it from the top first, okay guys? Right here for now. This auxiliary port does not want to give up. Notice how there's like a piece of metal right here. It's already on this side too. See this piece right here? So we don't want to get that whole piece. We just want to get underneath this auxiliary port. And that thing just shot up. Let me go get it. Here it is. Yeah, so that thing just jumped right up. Okay, so this is how it goes, like that, and we'll put it on this side. I don't want to install it on the frame yet, just because I want to make sure that there's absolutely nothing that needs to go on before I start installing parts. For example, let's see. Okay, this little plastic is already there, as you can see there. And then this little plastic is already there too. So I just want to scan through it real quick. What else do I need to transfer over to this new frame? That metal is there already. Alright, we need this transferred. So let's start with that. Okay, so hope this one doesn't jump up like the other one did. I'll put my finger on there just in case. Alright, there you go. So you grab that and you just transfer it over to this frame, to the new frame. Okay, So we keep scanning up, 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 and see if we need to transfer anything else. Let me stop you here real quick. I'm kind of in a hurry to do this, so I'm not going to test the screen before I start installing stuff. What you should do is you should put this motherboard on here real quick first, and then put the battery. If you have a spare battery, use a spare battery, otherwise you have to remove this one, and then plug it in real quick without installing anything on here yet. And that way you can turn on the phone and make sure that it's working 100% and it's not defective with any lines or any damages to the LCD. Okay, me, I'm in a hurry, I'm just gonna risk it. That's very bad because I've done that in the past and it was a defective screen, and they didn't give me my money back. Okay, so please try to have the time and double check that it's a good LCD before you start installing stuff. Okay, alright, so I'll continue scanning. Alright, battery I'll transfer in a bit. So these little pins are already there, you can see right here. Alright, anything else? Anything else up here? Okay, we need, oh, that's already there. That's nice. Cool. So we didn't have to transfer this speaker. Right here, there's a little plastic. It's already on there. Anything else? Let me see. This one looks kind of weird from, you guys can see it looks kind of wrinkled up here, and this is supposed to be the new one, so it's just a refurbished screen. It's a little bit wrinkly there, but it's alright. Doesn't affect the camera at all. Make sure the camera lenses right here, they're clean from the inside. You can clean them with a Q-tip if they're not clean. Okay, this one's clean. There's nothing in here that I need to transfer here. All the left side, it's all there. Fairly simple repair, guys. So let's go ahead and heat up this battery a little bit. Now this screen is not recyclable anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with some heat on the other side right here. But even if it was recyclable, I still hit it with some heat, but I'd be very, very careful. I wouldn't do it for too long. In this case, I don't care, but still. In this case, I'm just gonna heat it up. Because the screen is so nice still, and the fact that it's still turned on, I still want to be a little careful because I may be able to use this screen for data recovery for another customer. Okay, it's not completely tore up, it's not messed up that bad, so I'm not gonna. If it was, I would hold my heat gun on there for a long time. I don't care if it burns. That way, the battery can come off easily. But I'm just gonna do it a little bit. Okay, now that the battery is kind of hot, I'm going to use this tool right here. And I don't want to go in too deep because you see, you only have so much. Then you can puncture the screen. So I'm just going to go this much. Let's see. Try this side. Let's try this side instead. And there it is. Okay. Now because it's metal, you want to be careful. So, not to puncture the battery, okay? There you go. So now you can get your plastic tool in there. And slowly. There you go. Slowly separate it. See that? Sometimes you have more room in here, sometimes you don't, so then you hit it from a different side, and there you go. And there it is, guys. Here's your battery. Set this aside for now. I want to do one quick rundown and see if there's anything else that's missing on this frame that we need to transfer from here. Okay, so we go right here, plastics there, plastic, rubber, whatever it is. All right, here's that vibrating motor. Okay, going up. Everything is there. This speaker's there already. Okay, the rubbery part right here is already there. Here, everything's there. Okay, guys. So this is now a data recovery screen. Okay. If there's somebody very desperate to get their phone fixed, and there's a super duper black, you know, and it doesn't work anymore, and they're willing to buy this one with the risk, you can sell for $100, easy. Okay. All right. So now this is done. Now let's start installing all the little parts. I'm just gonna blow this one time right here, so there's nothing in there, and I'll install that after I install the board. Okay. All right. So let's look at all our components. We'll start with the motherboard. Remember this goes first. Okay. And there you go. Make sure there's no connectors that are going to go underneath it. There you go. Okay. Cameras. There you go. Plug it in. Make sure it clicks in place. We got the audio jack right here. Okay. Plug that in. I'll go ahead and put the screws to that already. So I'll do the charging port. And then I'll do this auxiliary port right here. Do not install this screw there. I messed up. It actually goes right up here to hold the motherboard. I fix it later in the video. Okay, so make sure that's plugged in. Plug in your LCD. There you go. Put in your SIM tray in there. Okay. And make sure everything else is plugged in. Cool. Let's plug in the battery. Before I place the battery, I like to plug it in first. And this adhesive still works, but if you didn't have any more adhesive on the battery, you want to get a dual-sided tape and put some strips on it. So before I install the battery, I want to plug it in first, make sure I have enough space. Alright, there you go. So there you go, right there. And you just heat it up if you have adhesive on there. Make sure it sticks well. Before I put on all the gazillion million screws, I'm gonna make sure it turns on. Okay, so there needs to be some pressure on here so it could turn on. So I'm gonna apply some pressure, and I'm gonna hit that button. There you go. Turns on. Let me change my settings here. There you go. Looks good. Okay, so it looks good. The widescreen looks good. There's no spot anymore down there. Everything looks good. Okay, this is a good screen. It touches everywhere. We're good to go. So I'm gonna turn it off, power it off real quick. and start installing all those gazillion screws. Alright guys, so there we have it. Let's go ahead and put the back. So this is, there's still a lot of adhesive here. I'm just going to heat it up and then snap it right on. Okay, there it is. Press it on there. Heat it up a little bit more. Press it on a little bit more. Okay, let's turn it on. And there it is, guys. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. If you guys want to take a class on how to repair phones, reach me, contact at 911gadgets.com, or go to the website 911gadgets.com. There's a PDF, download that, teaches you all the tips and tricks, and it also gives you all the sources that I use where I order parts, where I unlock phones. Go ahead and take a look at it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.